So, you want to play Monster of the Week. There's a few things you need to know first. Monster of the Week is a ttrpg. For the uninitiated, that stands for tabletop role-playing game. In a tabletop, the players assume the role of the characters they've created, along with their class. From there, the game is performed in two ways. First, the main way, in which the players and their keeper interact to move the narrative forward. Second, when actions need to be performed, the players will use their dice and their skills to determine the outcomes. With the use of the dice, they will decide where the story goes. When a player rolls their dice, they take the number added on the dice and combine it with the number of the corresponding talent on their sheet. From there, the keeper makes a judgment call to decide what actions will be performed and in what severity. From here, you decide who's going to be the keeper and who's going to be a player. If you decide to be a player, like my teammate Deacon here, the next step you will take is printing out your character sheet. This is your character sheet. On the top, you will see your class, followed by a short description of your class. Next, you will see your 5 talents and characteristics. These characteristics will be used to determine your dice rolls and how well you perform in certain situations. Under that, you'll have your luck, harm, and experience. We'll get into each of those as we continue forward. We will talk about the keeper later. For now, let's see what it means to be a player. As a player, you will tell your keeper which actions you wish to perform. From there, your keeper will give you a corresponding move. Your move is associated with your characteristic. That characteristic will have a number. That number, in combination with the dice, will decide on how well you have performed that move. A 6 or lower is a failure. A 7 to 9 is a mixed success. A 10 or higher is a complete success. Your keeper will tell you where to go from here. Ooh, I had that one. Let me go one more time.
Esteban, you did poor in public speaking, huh?
I tell you about it.
Not a lot of people to talk to when you live in your car, huh?
Nope. Just the dashboard.
That's sad.
As a player, you have 5 stats. Each stat has a corresponding move. Let's talk about the first stat, Charm. Charm has one basic move, manipulate someone. Manipulate someone is used to try and get someone to do something for you after you give them some kind of reason. Tell them what you want them to do, and roll your dice and add your charm stat. If you have a normal person, on a 10 or higher, they'll do it for you for the reason you give them. On a 7 to 9, they'll do it for you, but only if you give them something right now to show that you really mean it. On a 6 or lower, you fail, and you offend your target, or you put yourself in danger. If you want to have someone grab your nipples.
On my planet, that's how we have sex.
Oh, ew. Let's talk about your next stat. Cool. Cool has 2 basic moves. Act under pressure and help out. Act under pressure. Used for any difficult or dangerous action that isn't covered by another move. When you act under pressure, roll your dice and add cool. 10 or higher, you do what you set out to do. 7 to 9, the keeper's going to give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. On a 6, you fail, and things go to hell. Second basic move, help out. When you help out, you wish to help another hunter do something. Not like that. If you succeed, you give them a bonus to their task. When you help another hunter with a move making their roll, you roll and add cool. On a 10 or higher, your help grants them a +1. On a 7 to 9, your help grants them +1 to their roll, but you expose yourself to danger. On a 6 or lower, you expose yourself to trouble or danger without helping. A 6 or lower is a failure. A 7 to 9 is a mixed success, and a 10 or higher is a complete success. However, it is always up to the keeper's discretion to determine exactly what happens, and it may not be exactly what is stated on the sheet. Your next stat. Sharp. Sharp has 2 basic moves. Investigate a mystery and read a bad situation. Let's start with investigate a mystery. This is used to work out what kind of monster you're dealing with, what it can do and what it's planning. When you investigate a mystery, roll your dice and add your sharp. On a 10 or higher, you get 2 questions. On a 7 to 9, you get 1. On a 6 or lower, you get none. These questions can be specific or general based on your keeper's discretion, such as, what happened here? Or what kind of creature is it? Read a bad situation. This is used when you want to work out what kind of dangers are immediately threatening to you, if you think you're walking into a trap, or if you want to do some tactical analysis. Roll your dice, add your sharp. On a 10 or higher, you get 3 questions. On a 7 to 9, you get 1. 6 or lower, 0. The questions can be thus: what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers I haven't noticed? Now that we're done talking about that egghead stuff, let's get down to brass tacks. My favorite stat, tough. Tough has 2 basic moves, kick ass and protect someone. Let's start with kick ass. Little Deacon has a knife. So you want to kick ass. So you want to eat ass.
Let me at him, I'm ready.
Calm down. That's my job. Stand there and be weird. When you want to fight a monster, your keeper's gonna ask you to kick ass. Be careful, because when you kick ass, the monster gets a chance to harm you as well. And speaking of harm is your life points. You have 7 harm slots. If you are harmed 7 times throughout your adventure, you will die. However, it's not all doom and gloom. With tough, you can also choose to protect someone and prevent them from attaining any harm. In addition to harm, you also have 7 luck slots. If you choose to expend a slot, your roll is automatically 12, or you can choose to suffer no harm. However, your luck does not come back, so if you used all 7, you're doomed. Both tough moves come with special bonuses, such as inflicting more harm, suffering less harm, or moving the monster, depending on the severity of your roll. However, again, this is at the keeper's discretion. Now let's get weird. Don't touch me. Rude.
So Esteban asked me to do this next part, because out of all of us, he's the least weird. So the weird stat is unique to every hunter in the game. You range from someone like Esteban, who has an innate gut feeling, to someone like me, who can shapeshift or use telekinetic abilities. At the very end of the spectrum, you have literal magic, summoning demons, bringing people back to life. It all varies based upon your class.
That was a good one. Deacon, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You learned so much.
This is a special message from the great beyond for the Keeper. If you've decided to become the Keeper of your game, you've decided to take the player's fates into your own hands. The Keeper creates the story, runs the adventure, designs the encounter, and describes the monsters. Without the Keeper, there can be no game. It is your job as the Keeper to decide which successes are truly great and which failures are truly miserable. There may come a time in your game when a player asks to do a move that is not covered by the basic moves list. This is okay. You as the Keeper get to decide which move most fits the action they're trying to perform. Or just roll 2d6 and based on the result, decide whether it is a mixed success, a failure, or a true success. You can design an adventure from scratch, or use one of the several provided by the Tome of Mysteries. You do not need these rule books to play Monster of the Week, however they are excellent tools. For our actual play show, All in Your Head, we have already run one of the adventures, The Circles, from the Tome of Mysteries guide. The best advice I can offer as a keeper is to just start playing. You will never be able to prepare for all of the player's moves, and you will always be surprised. This is okay. This is a game ruled by fate. The dice introduce an element of randomness which can never be prepared for. It's your job as the keeper to keep things within the bounds of reality, or unreality depending on your world. The most important thing to take away from this is you, the keeper, are the ultimate decider. As the keeper, you will be able to design special NPCs and monsters who can interact in the world differently than the player characters. These monsters will have special moves which you can either design yourself or find in the core rulebook. The same goes for NPCs. Each NPC will have what's called a motivation. For instance, their motivation could be to get captured or to put themselves in danger, or to betray the party or lead them astray. Occasionally, when a player rolls really well, such as getting a 12 or higher on a roll, or being very creative in using their tools, you may decide to award them as a benevolent keeper and give them +1 forward. This will allow them to have +1 on their very next roll only. Certain moves will allow a player to receive +1 ongoing. This will result in adding a +1 to every roll they make until the situation no longer applies. For instance, in a dark forest at night, a player cleverly decides to bring their flashlight. This will allow them to receive +1 ongoing for visual checks within the forest. There's also something called a hold. When you get a hold, you'll get a number of points. Each point can be spent 1 for 1 to gain a specific effect. The move will list the effects you can spend your hold on. This is mainly used for the investigate a mystery roll. Depending on the player's success, they will be able to ask a number of holds or a number of questions. There are other situations in which this applies, but as I said before, as the keeper, you are the ultimate decider. It is your judgment call, no one else's. Not every rule is going to apply to every situation, and not every situation will have any rules that apply. Being a keeper or being a game master is about the application of knowledge, not the memorization of rules. It is always up to you. And the dice.
And to end off, a few common courtesies. Remember, your keeper wants you to have fun, but their rules are final. Listen and follow. And for your players, they're people too. You're not alone. You're in a group. You must work together to overcome this goal. Be kind, courteous, don't talk over anyone, and let them have their moments, as they will let you have yours. Be kind, and happy hunting.
And don't do this.
Ow.
You got this.
Ooh, it's so hard. Make the script up in the moment. In which the players and the game masters interact to decide the ooh, nope. Ooh.
And they help. Okay. You go.
That is when the players and the dungeon master. Nope, that's it. That's it. We're done. Ooh.